This happened a few years back at an old property I worked at, and trust me, it's a wild ride. I was working the morning shift. Our lobby had this side window where you could see straight down the hallway to a few ground floor rooms. Around 9 a.m., there are these 3 to 4 teenage kids literally running back and forth between the breakfast area and 3 of the guest rooms. Screaming, slamming doors, just absolute chaos. Obviously, I didn't want a noise complaint from the other guests, so I marched over there to tell them to pipe down. One of the guys decides he wants to play the tough guy and immediately starts giving me attitude. He goes, "I'll do what I want, don't you know who I am?" I just deadpan respond, "No, I don't. Either way, keep it down, or you'll be asked to vacate the rooms." He smirks and says, "I don't have to do shit, my aunt works here." Big mistake, buddy. I just said, "All right, well, start packing your stuff. I'm going to give your parents a call and let them know you're getting kicked out." I head back to the front desk, ready to look up their reservations and see exactly which employee they were booked under. And guess what? I look at the system, and those 3 rooms are labeled out of order. What? I immediately called our GM. He checked the system and confirmed no employee rooms were booked for the week. I told him what was going on, and he started making his way down to the lobby. Before the GM even gets there, the dad of one of the teens rushes to the desk. He is super apologetic for his kid's behavior and practically begs to know if they're actually getting kicked out. I asked for his full name to look him up, and nothing came up. He then tells me that a friend of theirs, who happens to be the housekeeping manager's sister, made the reservations for them. And get this, he said they paid $200 in cash when they checked in after midnight. After explaining the whole mess to the GM, he gracefully let them stay until checkout. But now we have a mystery. We pull up the transaction reports. Surprise, surprise. 0 cash was reported taken for the past 2 nights. While the GM is glued to the security cameras, I notice our housekeeping supervisor heading to those exact 3 rooms to start cleaning them. This was super weird. We had an older system, so all housekeeping lists were literally handmade. Since the housekeeping manager was out sick that day, I had helped make the lists. And I knew for a fact those rooms were not scheduled to be cleaned. I asked her why she was in there, and she casually mentions that the HK manager called and told her to do them. Apparently, the manager does this every now and then when she can't clean extra rooms herself. Now here is a crucial detail. Our night auditor and the housekeeping supervisor were married. Management never cared because they were in completely separate departments. They had been working together for over 10 years. And honestly, aside from the night auditor getting written up once or twice for literally sleeping in his car, they were considered exemplary employees. Well, the GM kept reviewing the footage. He didn't just catch the night auditor handing over the keys without checking them in. He caught the guy hanging out and drinking with them for part of the night. And after doing some more digging, this was not an isolated incident. The night auditor had a whole side hustle going. He would rent out rooms for cash on the regular to friends and family, mark the rooms as out of order with his wife's login, and then she would unblock the rooms and clean them herself the next day. We checked the camera footage going back a full month and found them doing this several times. But because of the high volume of rooms being marked 000 in our ancient system, who knows how long this scam had actually been running? Needless to say, they were both fired a few days later.